talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real talk.
Listen, it's live and I am here. Jay's back and sweaty. It's hot outside. And I was just talking to this man about how he likes the heat. But this man, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thurston Howard III, the Polo Rican, the skillionaire, low life founders. There's a long list of attributes and things like that.
A long list of hip hop attributes. So why you only gave me a short list?
Because
we here all day.
You said it was a short interview.
We'll be here all day.
Yeah, we'd be here for a long time if I had to say all my.
Listen, I can
AKs.
interview you for hours because of No, we're not doing that.
All right.
He's one of those. Listen, I'm gonna call him out. One of those like bet. All right, let's do it. Like
I'm always down
you are
for the
Brooklyn.
action. Yeah?
You are Brooklyn, and you're like 70s, 80s baby Brooklyn. I already know because you remind me of family. Oh, it's hot. You too hot out here.
70s.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like you grew up. You're known for like 30 years plus, for sure.
As far as in entertainment. Yeah, being an entertainer.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What would you say of all those attributes is your favorite?
I believe most of the attributes I gave to myself and created. I'm the skillionaire, the serial skiller.
But that's what you do. We become what we think we are.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite of what you think you are?
I would say skillionaire more
Why?
than anything because
What does that mean to you?
it describes just who I always been. Even within poverty, I was rich my entire life because of the things I was capable of doing.
Amen.
I never felt a lack of, where I never felt poor. I was always rich with the resources from where I'm from and the things I was capable of doing.
That mindset is why you're even on this interview at the end of the day. I heard you say something like that somewhere, and I can't even remember where. That basically, because I know I grew up poor money-wise, and people, my studio manager's not here, but he always you don't even act like you grew up in any type of sad situation, but it's the mindset. The only reason you can get to where you want to go is to already believe that you're there. So besides skillionaire, I love it. I'm for it.
Yeah, that's the name of my company as well.
That's what I was gonna lead to.
It's Skillionaire
it's not a
Global
mindset.
Enterprises. One of my brothers actually, B Born, aka Cornbread from the Nice and Smooth Dancers. He gave me the title Skillionaire, when I became a rapper and things like that. So
what drove you to become a rapper instead of a 9-to-5 corporate? What was it?
I became everything throughout my life.
Okay.
So, I was able to run my own label, imprint, and all of them things because I knew how to work 3 9-to-5s at once, at one shot. So, of course, hip-hop is, my path in life, period. I was doing it no matter what. But I've always been able to keep a 9-to-5 and a job and elevate in position and things like that. So I'm just an active person where I'm not going to go to work for nothing. I came here to really do what I'm here for. I'm not going to waste my time.
What's the point if you're not
some
doing
people
it?
just do a job because it's a job, but I actually
get paid,
I get involved in anything I'm in. It has to make sense. I want to be there to do it. I want to see the job done right, and I've been like that with everything I've ever done. That's
you don't
what the
have to ask
skillionaire.
nothing. Exactly.
Nothing
But
at all.
One thing I've done, 6, 7 interviews today. All of them we worked our asses out. None of it, even art. You think, you're a good artist, so then you're gonna make it, but it takes so much damn work for all of it.
Talent is not enough.
No, because 10% of it is talent. People like laugh at me when I said 10%. You know how much talent there is in this world? You know how much talent there's in Brooklyn,
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
The
everywhere.
most talented people are the undiscovered people.
And they're so unsuccessful in society's world, but they have the best success mentally, physically, and everything because they eat, breathe, and do what they love. You do it. You do a lot. You do a lot. Like, what would you say was the downfall for doing a lot? Because yes, you have success, but what did you sacrifice for that success?
I had to be selfish with my time because I'm not focused as an entertainer or individual. I'm more on the obsession side of things. So when I'm into projects, and I'm not a one project kind of person, I do 10 projects at a time, and I'm doing them
Simultaneously,
obsessed,
yeah.
with an obsession, and everything must be completed and executed. Like, there's nothing I begin that I don't finish.
I love that actually, because that I don't get a lot. People are starters but not finishers. Even in the industry, even if with talented people that have success. I don't like to say success all the time because success is relative to the person. Like,
it depends
to somebody else, you may not even be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So at the end of the day, it's relative to what you want. Like, I feel like in my success, I'm living in my success. Whatever it is to anybody else, I don't care. But a lot of people that I know that do a lot and are happy in doing it are obsessed.
Yeah, you have
Like,
to.
I actually spoke to somebody, he's another artist, and he said to me, people don't ever understand. You got to block people out sometimes too, because if you live in a world to please people, you're not going to be successful in whatever you do. But he said the only way that I am going to be where I need to be is to block people, and sometimes that costs you relationships. You're not really in like romantic relationships unless they understand that kind of business, and to understand the business of passion, because it's not just music, all of that, it's the passion of whatever you're doing. Somebody has to be there supporting you.
Passionate people like myself are passionate with
Everything, yeah. That's why I say it's not just art.
If I tie my shoe, it's with a passion, a skill, a style, for real, because that's just the type of person you become. You try to execute everything to that level of expectation for yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if I'm not pleased with the work, no matter what it is, then I'm not happy with it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to listen to it. I want to be pleased with what I'm doing, and I want to be satisfied knowing that I executed the way I wanted to come across to the people.
Do people find you difficult in that? Have you been called?
Working with me?
Yeah.
Oh, not at all.
Okay.
Because I'm so organized, because that's one of my greatest assets I have is my organizational skills.
I feel like if you're doing that much at the same time, you need to be organized.
I'm extremely
organized. You can't
organized.
half-ass it. You have to, like, I feel like everybody, I know a lot of people that want shit done, like they want to get things done, but that they don't really have the mindset of like processing, organizing, and that's part of the game. If then you're going to be a one song every couple of years, because you're not really going to really do anything with that. What's your biggest achievement to date? And it doesn't have to be in the art. It doesn't have to be even in the business realm. Life in general.
I mean, you know, seeing my family, seeing my grandchildren be born and things like that. You know, just being able to provide my family with certain things was a great achievement. You know, knowing the background and history I come from and the place I come from. You know, I come from Brownsville. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm from the projects where this is the projects for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just even, you know, from what my background is as a lowlife, but to become, you know, the model for Ralph Lauren and things like that, to be in Ralph Lauren's, you know, life story, and those were unbelievable achievements in my eyes, that I will be acknowledged by the company.
Because those things are not things that you had written down as a kid. Those are not the things that you think you could achieve. You're not thinking that specific.
It wasn't just that, it's just society would place me in a different
Of course. You're not
position.
on Ralph Lauren. You're on some other like hood magazine, right? That's where they would place you.
They would place me because, like I said, what the background was before all of this occurred. Yeah, I would have different positions throughout all of this. But just to, you know, overcome so much adversity in those arenas, to be a model for this prestigious brand, you know, to be featured in his life story and things like that. That's an achievement, just to be acknowledged by the world, and, you know, to know that everything we did, even when we was on a negative, it didn't go in vain. It still was shown to the world, influenced the world, and all of them things.
I
So
will say that you are an influencer for sure, not whether you want to be or not. But I also would say that you are what I see other artists being when we come from similar backgrounds. When I see other artists that think that they can't because like I'm from the hood is all I know, and you are on magazines and things that people who have the money, who had the means back then, it's saying we can as a community, not just you. Like and I love that you like Low Life, the whole thing. I love that because it's almost like, yeah, we're low lives and this is what we got. Like it's like almost like a F you to whoever else thought you were this, right? Well, yeah, we are, and we're owning it, but look what we're doing. And that's when I started, like, I know a couple of the guys, and when I started just like paying attention, I was like, I get it. Like, I get what the name even stands for. What does it stand for you?
well, it stands for Polo. It's just, you know, the acronym, the low, and that's what it always stood for. Just this was the life we were living. You know, being young, the materialism, the whole name brand thing, and being from Brooklyn with the attachment of Polo, just was it meant everything in the world to us. People who come from dysfunctional households, poverty-stricken, drug addictive parents, all of that. But we look like
it's like hope.
We look like we had it all. You know, we look like everything was okay because we looked so good where we was at, and that, you know, that had a lot to do with how our confidence
It's everything for
turned
the
out to be
confidence, yeah.
even years down later, because you know your appearance is everything. People, you in society, you're gonna be
it's
judged
true.
by that
It's true.
first.
Whether you don't like it, whether whatever. And so I just always have been like, I'm just gonna look my most me, and this is gonna present itself, whatever. What else? What are you doing next? Because I know you guys got an event coming up from Brooklyn to Orlando, like the bridge from Brooklyn to Orlando, coming up in May 17th, that weekend.
It's the Love and Loyalty Weekend,
Yeah.
May 16th through the 18th.
Okay.
So there's 3 nights of events. You know, on the 16th, we having a meet and greet with a time machine for DJs and at the Commission Beer Chamber.
Okay.
At Saturday night, the 17th of May, we at the Iron Cow. We got a long list of performances. It's the Brooklyn Bridge to Orlando Part 2. We got Master Ace performing, Rusty Jukes, Illa G, the Rockness Monster was on the bill, and a lot of other local acts from Orlando, as well as others from, you know, Brooklyn, Staten Island, the Bronx.
The fam.
Yeah, just a lot of people coming in, and you know, these performances be hard body performances.
I've been to a few events like
yeah,
that.
they not coming to play and stay on. They coming to destroy the stage.
I love it.
And then on a Sunday we do the annual Low Life
the
barbecue,
yeah.
for Orlando. You know, Orlando and Miami together.
Okay.
We come together. We do this with the community in Orlando, the people here. I mean, this is our 6th year right now doing it, and it's been successful.
What does community mean to you? You said community. What does that mean?
Community means resources. It means people looking out for each other, helping. When you see somebody down, it means even sharing knowledge and information to those who want to intake it properly.
Yeah.
Not
Being
every
the fly on the wall to learn something.
Yeah, everybody always acts like they want the information, but you're not gonna do nothing with the information.
Just walk
yeah,
away.
leave me alone, because
Yeah.
you're wasting my time.
I agree with that.
But there's so many people who gonna actually, you know, take those steps and utilize the information you're given, even within the whole hip hop realm.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So if we sharing that, then you help the whole hip hop community grow. The more stars you're able to build within hip hop, the more things come to you.
It's a whole. We all win if hip hop is winning. What I always have heard about you, and this is like, you should own this because it's a good trait to have, is that you are not afraid to shine light on other people. And I've heard that from many people. I didn't know. This is the first time I meet you. I've seen you around, fine, but like that you were always willing to, hey, Bob, this is how you do it, or look, this is how I did it. Give that extra helping hand, and always with the flashlight shining. Like you're not afraid, like you're not dimming yourself by shining light on anybody else. And in hip hop, that don't happen that often. Like your group is great, but within your group, right? But a lot of times in hip hop, it's like, no, I gotta be the best, I gotta be better, the freshest from Florida, you know what I'm saying? But to hear, and I constantly heard this, I always wanted to have a conversation with you because I love the culture, I love hip hop, I love music in general, but it's rare. I interview so many different artists, different people, and not just in music, but anywhere else. But I rarely hear like, yo, that guy really, really wants all of us to win.
Wow.
And I'm giving you your flowers because I hear that all the damn time, everywhere I go. Like I went to Iron Con once, and that was the first time I had seen you perform, but I've heard of you for years. You know, I grew up hearing about you truly, but it was like, yo, that guy he's not just like smoke and mirrors. He really wants everybody to win. So like to feed others and kind of like maybe not even feed as much yourself is rare, especially in hip hop. You know, it's ego driven. It's very ego driven. So to hear that and to like, now I'm meeting you and you're saying that.
I believe I feed myself by feeding others.
Yeah.
Because the more I'm able to inspire and help make things better, they can only shine that light back on me and feed me. And as far as like, you're right, you know, people feel like, I do feel like I am the greatest, I am this, I'm
and
that.
own that.
So yeah,
Fine.
I will own that without feeling like I'm giving that up by helping someone else.
Exactly, because that's the mindset.
The better I can help make you, you're gonna make me even sharper by you being better.
So now we all competing really in the hip hop world and any music industry. We are competing, but at the same time, yo, you leveling up, I need to level up. You doing that? Okay, so what's next? Because without a little healthy competition, we ain't growing as people in general.
Even in the same sense, the master is the master because he always knows he's the student at all times.
Yeah, you got to stay teachable.
You stay learning and you stay learning from others. I don't look at other people's weaknesses. I see their strengths. And then I know how to place them in ways for it to be utilized by everyone. You know, in the community we've built here, you know, within Orlando, we brought the Low Life chapter here. And like I said, we came here to be a part of the community, not to come plant our own flag or anything like that. The Low Life network at this point is a global network all over the world. There's not a city you will go to where there isn't a chapter there that will come out and assist you for whatever troubles you're having or whatever help you need or whatever art you're trying to create. And I mean, just knowing that alone and having that, you know, this thing is beneficial for everyone. And that's what I show. It's not something I'm trying to pigeonhole. Get involved in the network and see how far it extends for your reach, for what you want out of it, not what I want, you know? So that's how it works.
You winning in my book. Like
Thank you.
And it's funny because we're talking before, you know, we're walking up here. And he's like, oh, let's see how much you know. And I don't know all about you. Definitely do not.
Know.
Hell no, I don't. You know who? But it's good because I didn't want to know everything about you. I didn't even want to do too much research on you. I didn't know I was going to interview you till this morning.
Wow.
Like I didn't know, but I was like, if I could, that would be dope because I already know, I know a lot about you, but not just musically. I just feel like in the community, you do things that I feel like I'm proud to live in Orlando and live in a space and be in spaces with greatness. I keep saying that, but it's true.
I got to thank my brother Earl
Thank
Lugo.
everybody. Yes.
Earl more because he's been, you know, the person who's enlightened me the most in Orlando. You know, he's my friend since a teenager. And
you
you
gotta
know,
keep those.
I came around here, Earl showed me what everything was, who's who, what's what, and he's always been for the community. You know what I mean? So I back up anything he wants to do or any call he makes because, you know, his intentions are always in that right place about doing for others. And very selfless, like not thinking about themselves at all. So
And you always need, because you know you said you had to be selfish, and I don't want to take people to take that like, and that you didn't care. It's just that you needed to be selfish with your time. You needed to be focused. You needed to be dedicated to. You can't become a master without that. But you need people like an Earl to like really reel you in, like keep you real, keep you genuine to what you really want to do, because the industry is going to eat you alive anyway. And everybody,
The industry will kill your spirit
the soul,
and
the
destroy
soul.
everything you
Yes.
feel about what you love. The industry will take that away from you.
So saying that, why be in the industry? Because it's true. I agree.
But see, what I always say when people say, I don't represent the industry.
You represent yourself.
I represent the culture.
Oh,
It's a big
That's
difference.
a good one. That's true.
So I've never had a record deal. I've never
You
been
didn't need-
signed
you
to
didn't
a
need
label.
one.
I wanted one like everybody else, but it didn't happen. So what I did was pursue my own route and my own way of doing things, and that worked out for me. I think if I would have got like the record deals, because I did get record deals from multiple,
Yeah.
artists and companies, but I never took any of them. But when I think back, like my first record deal I got was from LL Cool J. Who's not gonna sign with LL Cool J? And this is in the '90s.
You couldn't tell him nothing. Truly.
Not just that, it's like anybody would have just signed, no
Of course,
questions asked. This L, he's gonna make me a star.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't do that. I had a couple of other situations where I was given, nice situations, nice offers and things like that. But I never took it only because things didn't look like what I wanted. I'm
You
one of them
lose
kind of
yourself.
creators. I want to do what I want to do. I don't want to be told. I've never been a person to be told. But that doesn't make me somebody who's hard to work with. I know how to collaborate with
But
anyone.
that's why I wanted to ask you that question, not because I thought you were hard, but because people outside looking in instantly like, oh, he want to do his own thing. He's independent. He's this. They instantly think, oh, well, I don't want to work with an artist like that. But I've heard nothing but good things. I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard.
I
Nothing
do
but good
so
things.
much
Yeah.
of what I want to do that it's easier to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because I stack up my shit over here like this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, you have an idea, this person. It's so easy to collaborate with people. When you're giving me the idea already, it happens even faster. Because on my end, I'm coming up with all the ideas, all the creativity. So I'm the easiest person to work with. You can ask anybody that.
I've heard.
As long as you're punctual, we'll get along. Because when you late and you show up at that door
Is
later,
that a Brooklyn thing? I don't know. I know I hate when people like waste my time. It's a time waste, really.
it's a production thing.
Yeah, it's for everything. So
Yeah.
now it's money. Now, I've always been a punctual person, but I tell you, people have wasted my time to the point where
I'm extremely punctual.
yeah.
I was here the day before everybody. I was there when Frank was opening that gate in the
I
back.
believe it. I
And
believe
it's like that every year because I come to secure where we're gonna place our stuff. You get first dibs when you show up early. Even if you're working a corporate job and you're always showing up early and you get acknowledged for that. You're known to be a reliable person. Okay, this guy is always here early.
She gonna show up.
Give him the keys. Let him open up. So
Same.
he don't got to.
That's-
And that's how you constantly elevate. You show people how reliable you
And
are.
it's not about the talent because, like I said, talent takes
Talent-
you only a
talent's not
certain
enough,
way.
yeah.
You gotta be willing to put in the damn work, show up early.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I always tell people, like, if I'm there 5 minutes early, I'm late. Like I'm late. I like to show up early to the studio. I started this in my living room.
Wow.
Like there was no studio. There was a tripod with my phone. Like that's
Wow.
how. But I just wanted it. When you want something, you keep going. And do I have the most popular show? No, but I love it and I live for it, and that's what I do.
But that's what makes it popular, and
Yeah.
that's how you
This
get it.
is the show, right?
As long as you're
It's mine,
passionate
yeah.
about it, you're
Exactly.
willing to do the work. Because at the end of the day, the work is always going to speak for itself.
Yeah.
I don't like saying shit to people.
Yeah, you meant a few words too.
check-
like
check
this is
my
the
work.
most I've ever heard
Check
you
my
speak.
because I'm always like,
Just
go
go.
check
Just
the
listen.
work.
Go.
Look at the work and choose a category
Mm-hmm.
because it's multimedia. So there's so many things you could look into that'll keep you entertained and tell you who I am and what I'm capable of doing, rather than me running my mouth. I feel funny when I'm running my mouth.
Same.
Like, see, we on a podcast, so it makes sense. But even if you notice any of my other interviews, I don't like
don't
feeling myself
yeah.
too much, or you know
So
what I mean.
I'm the same. I understand, but at the same time, you sometimes gotta shut them up.
The work speaks for itself.
I agree with that.
They
I
shut
listen.
up. Just do the
They
work.
shut up.
Yeah. The work will tell you, don't ever question me. Look at the work.
What else do you want to do that you haven't done?
Wow. I never thought about that one.
I'm
I mean,
always thinking about that. I don't know why.
I think right now, I'm more in the film space of things.
Okay.
And I believe, I'm a fully transition, just full films and,
Okay.
creating shows and things
I like that.
Because, that's actually what I started out doing before even rapping.
That's crazy.
So my experience in film is a lot more extensive than it is even in music. So
Okay.
I think just, once
Watch
my
out, Spike Lee. Watch out, everybody. Because, you got that mindset. You're going to do it. If you said it, you're going to do it.
Oh, no, it's going down.
I know.
Nah, it's going down.
I already know that about you. If you said, you probably been doing it, you were going to, is it like a whole full production company that you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah. I mean, I've been a production company for many
Yeah.
years, Skillusion Films and Gold Box Film
I've heard of
Studios.
Gold Box, yeah.
So Gold Box is actually my partner, Boxlow, where we do almost everything. All of my productions we do together.
Okay.
So it's just that's the space we're heading fully right now. I've been doing a lot of stuff with Kevin Garnett and his Content Cartel. The same with Adam Sandler. They're
seen-
basically doing my fucking series. I hope you
Okay.
could curse on here.
You could do
But,
whatever
yeah,
the hell you
they're
please
doing
on here.
the
Yeah,
Thurston
yeah.
Howell story series and
So
things
that's
like that.
okay, because I heard about that, but I didn't know who was doing it and who was
Yeah,
involved.
that's Kevin Garnett, Adam Sandler, and my good friend Mark Levin at Blowback Productions.
Okay.
So
Okay. I am for that. I'm proud. I'm proud to be sitting next to you, not just you, Thurston Howell III, because I don't fangirl nobody. I feel like I have a level of respect for artistry, but as a man, I'm proud of you.
thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Tell them where they can find you, please.
You can find me everywhere.
Everywhere. He everywhere. I knew you were going to say.
Now, as far as social media, Thurston Howell III on Instagram, ThirstonHowell3RD. Same thing for my YouTube channel, my Facebook, across all social media platforms. Same for the website, ThirstonHowell3rd.com. Check out all the merch. No more books. All the books are sold out. There's tons of merch, tons of music. The new album drops in June. The Last Shall Be Thirst.
The last shall be theirs.
Massive production, massive music videos. You already saw the brand new MC Ultra joint with me and Young Hump from the West Coast. We just dropped that. I just dropped a new video on Thursday with Nemesis from the West Coast, off of her album. But all year long, I'm gonna be blasting all year. I got so much material that I gotta just unleash it. I can't keep
Listen,
sitting on
you
everything.
can't sit on years worth of work. I can't do that. When I hear artists do that, I feel like it hurts my soul. Like,
I
why?
already have the work that's coming out now is years old.
I believe you. That's what I'm saying. I hear that all the time. I'm like, why? Put it out.
Nah, it's because I do put out every year. It's just I do so much. Some of it sits until the time is appropriate
it makes
or to
sense,
fit
though.
a certain project, But
Okay.
I already got the next albums after this one.
Listen,
So,
I wish I had that kind of talent. I'm all for music. All
Yeah?
for music. Yeah, all of it. Listen, I know you look at me and I was like, girl, what you know about hip hop? But I love it. I live for it. I eat, breathe it. My dad, like, I just grew up in it. I grew
dad
up
was
in
into
music.
hip-hop?
Yeah, my
In Brooklyn?
brother, yes.
Ah, that's what's up.
Actually, my dad's from the Bronx, but we lived in Brooklyn when I grew up, and my dad taught me about just don't just say you don't like a certain music. You better listen
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So
All
like
genres.
the jazz, all of it. I just grew up on Miles Davis, all of that, because hip hop is all of
Everything, yeah.
everything. So he said, "You gonna like this, but you have to understand where it came from." And my dad taught me everything I know. Truly,
Wow.
yeah.
I grew up not liking anything but hip hop.
No,
I was very close-minded to the other genres and even the other ways of life, even outside of hood life.
because you can't understand life in general without understanding that everything is so separate. Like somebody is living this hood life, and then you can't understand hood life without understanding that there's also rich people and people with money and people with power. Like you have to understand the balance, or you
You-
just don't know.
You don't know that young, right?
No,
you
truly,
don't know that
I
when-
grew up having to learn it, but
even when like, you know, my family was a lot of drug addiction. So everywhere I went to visit, where I went to visit family, I saw the same situation. You
So
know, I
you
saw the
thought that was
poverty.
life.
I thought this was the whole world.
And that's not it.
Because
Yeah.
everywhere I went, I saw drug addiction. I saw poverty. I saw domestic violence. I saw everybody robbing from their family. And,
Yeah.
you know,
I grew
saw,
up that way, but
yeah.
I always knew, because I had certain beautiful, like you need people like this in your life too. I had certain people that was like, this is how you live, but this is the other world. And I had an uncle, and shout out to my Theo Chino, because he was another one that was like, yo, we live like this, but if you want better, there's that door over there. And I always thought, like, okay, I'm gonna go to the other door, because even if I don't want to live that life, I learned about it. And so that's it. But
You know what I learned from that? I learned that there's no right or wrong way.
everybody's fucked up
Not just
in
that.
some
It's
way,
like,
right?
no, you look at the beautiful suburbs of Orlando, right, and compare them to a project in New York City. And like I said, I'm the skillionaire. I pull the riches out of the resources of wherever I'm at, and living in a beautiful suburb has less resources than the
Absolutely.
than the poverty-stricken,
Absolutely.
dangerous
It's true.
gutter where so much grows from that gutter.
You know what's sad is that I never thought poverty-stricken, dangerous gutter. I always thought even to this day, like, I like going back to where I came from. I like to visit. It feels like home, but not necessarily am I looking down on it. And I said, because of that, I'm this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not sad that I was poor. I'm not sad. Like, it made me better. It gave me that drive, that rawness.
It gave you the riches
Yes.
that, like, when I say poverty gutter, this is
Yeah.
what I learned to understand after looking from the outside now, because this is the way the whole world is viewing
Yes.
how we grow up. Okay, that's how y'all see us, but look at the riches that come out of it that doesn't come from any place
most
else.
times those are the most richest people. Like, even when you think now, when I see an interview and it's somebody like, yo, you don't know how I grew up. I grew up in the, like, name an artist, name a rapper that really rare. I mean, we have them, but name somebody that has this, like, the raw talent that speaks the truth. They're from where we're from. Like, so I'm proud. I never, when I say, and people laugh like, oh, I was like, yo, I was poor. And I say it proudly because I am not ashamed that now I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came from that and you still made it through something is better. It's a better win, in my opinion. It has more meaning to the win.
I was touring the prison system for a while.
Teaches you something, right?
Taught me. It was the best experience of my life. I got the most education you could believe, and I met some of the most righteous brothers that helped instill, you know, more knowledge
Morals
and things.
and
yes,
more
and
than
people
just
would think
this.
the opposite of
Yes.
such a place.
But it's not.
But no matter where you at, it's about what you choose to get from that
Yeah,
place.
what are you taking? Because somebody could have did the same tour and been like, this was shit and this is not where I want to be, and well, dirty, whatever. But it's really the mindset that you go into anything you do. Like, it's the mindset you have. That's why you're winning. That's why your success means whatever it means to you, but you are, right? So it's because we know what to take from the places that we are in. Anybody can go anywhere. Like, right now I'm taking so much from this, not just the interviews, but I'm just taking in the energies and
Of the people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We're losing sight of what it really means to have community, have culture. Culture is not, this guy got money, oh, I'm idolizing this one person, oh, this rapper's dope. Like, it's the whole aspect of it, but people don't know that. People don't pay attention to that. So yes, I'm interviewing Thurston Howe. You know, yes, great. I'm learning from you in different ways. Not because you're you, not because, like, wow, this status is more for me. Like, that's why I don't get impressed easily by whatever someone does or who they are. Or I get a lot, oh, you don't know who I am? Absolutely not. Because what are you doing for what it really matters? If you stand on something that I feel like is meaningful, then I'm gonna respect you. But because you have talent, who the hell doesn't have talent in this room, right? Outside, who doesn't have talent? Everyone. So it's about more than that for me. I appreciate
talent is not enough.
Yeah, you
That
better
is
do
what
something.
I'm spitting in everybody's face
That
this
should
year.
be a shirt.
I don't give a fuck how good you are with anything.
Same.
There's a
Same.
1,000 rappers out here that be in the lab. They got 1,000,000 bars. And get the fuck out the lab already. You just a lab rat. Go work that fucking music.
I
Let
agree.
the world hear it. If nobody hears it but you and your homeboys,
Then you ain't even
you
an
a
artist.
lab rat.
Yeah, you ain't doing
Get
nothing.
out the lab and go work that music. Is what I be stressing.
I
You know
agree.
why? Because talent is not enough. You know what I mean?
And if you out here, this is my talent, this is my talent, and not willing to take from anybody, not willing to really do for the community, I don't really care. I don't really care. I don't care how famous you are. And fame to me means nothing. There is no, like, fame is nothing to me. There's no, I don't even understand why the word exists, because at the end of the day, who you are famous to, let's say all of these people, you are famous, right? To other people, who are you? So it's so relative that it don't even matter. At this point, what you do, what stands, the people you leave behind, the community that you left better than when you came in, that's what stays. So then do that. I don't care what you do in the lab. I really don't care. Truly. Good music is good music. I'm going to respect it. But if that's all you got and you're not really doing the work, you're not even, like, you want it to just come to you, I don't have no respect for people like that.
That's the grind.
Yeah.
I'm all for the grind.
It's so, and it
On
impresses
hands,
me.
everything, and treat people right.
Yeah.
When you work with people, you treat them accordingly.
Thank you.
That's how you ensure having good people by your side all the time.
I agree with
How you treat them. That's how teams last 20, 30 years and
Yeah.
things like that, for how you reciprocate the
And-
treatment to everyone.
And I feel like I gotta say this, operating from an ego standpoint, and hip hop is, I get it, you battle rap, it's
Ego-driven.
yes, but at the same time, leave the ego at the door, because if you really know who you are, you don't have to tell not a damn soul. You don't have to
At
tell
the same
them.
time, what I've learned just in my studies, like I said, I come up with my own shit. Ego stands for everybody got one.
Yeah,
And if you fully understand all your emotions and all that, they're placed there for reasons.
I understand
It's
that,
about knowing when and how to utilize it, because there's times your ego got to come out.
yeah,
And you got to
and-
let motherfuckers
and-
know.
Yes, but I feel like there's a time where that stands, and there's a time where you just got to leave it at the door,
Mm-hmm.
let your work speak for itself, like you said. And also, you do not have to change people's mind about who you are. You are who you are. At the end of the day, a lot of rappers, why they don't last, why they don't have 30-year careers, is because they're always trying to change to appease the people, and the music gets lost. There's no genuinity to the music,
it's 'cause they
because you're going
catering.
with exactly you're
Yeah,
going
when
with
you
whatever
cater,
time. You can't do that.
Music is an art form where, there's still several groups, or how it began, where people brought you into their world.
Which is the point.
Like, even that's what I do. I don't cater to shit. I don't
Because
give a fuck
the times
what's
change.
popping.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I stick to what I believe in, because that's what remains for me.
And it gets you 30 years
Mm-hmm.
because it's genuine to who you are. Everybody is trying to be the other person. Oh, I'm the next this. Well, why
No,
aren't
I
you the
think-
first you? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of things that go wrong with, like, a lot of the rappers with the egos is the street activity.
Yeah.
They feel they want to be involved, and they want the reputation or whatever the streets supposed to offer them. And a lot of them didn't come in that way. But once they get famous, then they need it.
That is why I
for-
say fame is false.
Well, fame is poison.
Yeah.
Fame is the worst drug known to man at this point.
It's more than money. It's more than sex. It's more than anything, because people get addicted to being known. It don't matter what they're known for,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. I do not like. People are like, oh, you interview artists. Yeah, I don't like. You're great. I have respect for you, but I'm not out here like thirsting that. No, because I don't do that. I don't. How can I get impressed? I don't even know you. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm impressed by your music. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I want to have respect more than I want to fangirl anybody. I've just never been
I'm
that
impressed
person.
by a mind.
Yes.
A mind impresses
So
me.
I look at you, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what I mean, and that's why I could do this, and I don't get like weirded out, or I could just ask you questions right off rip, because I'm not trying to see you as like, wow. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from, because we're all people. The whole concept of my show is like, real talk and conversation with all kinds of walks of life. So everybody has a story. So even if you're famous, whatever famous is to whatever, everybody came from somewhere. So look, you came from literally blocks away from me. You know what I'm saying? So everybody comes from somewhere, and that's the whole point of the show. I started it literally coming out of fighting for my life for something, and I said, you know what, if I'm fighting for my life and nobody knows it, and I'm still walking out here with a smile on my face, who else hasn't gone through something? And that's the whole point.
Everybody's going through something right now.
Exactly.
You know, that's the whole world.
And that's why not have a conversation about it? And that's what
I
it
mean,
is.
my conversation goes everywhere, as you
I
can
know,
see.
but I love it. This is how I speak.
Because everybody can't speak
No,
on every
you can't-
subject.
no, and
Many people are one-track minded, one thing, or they talking about rims and fucking
Who cares?
gold teeth.
And
You know
please
what I mean?
do not grill around me. Like,
Oh, you're lucky. I left my grill. Matter of fact, it's in my pocket right now.
please do not.
Put it
Listen,
on right now.
you do not have your grill here.
Oh, you
Te
think I'm
voy a
lying?
dar.
That's one thing I'm not as a liar either.
I know. That's why I'm like, listen, I laugh. I can't. Why I laugh is because I feel like society tells you whoever's wearing something like that is dumb, they're poor, they don't know, right? But I've talked to so many people, and I'm just like, that's not what it is. But why I don't like them is I just don't like them on teeth. But
Nah,
but
to each his own.
I love that
in
people
hip hop.
wear it, and then
It's
there
very
are they
big.
who are.
It's a fashion statement. It's a style. Especially, remember, I come from the beginning of hip hop, so I've been wearing
Grills,
fronts. We call them fronts. I'm
fronts.
from Brooklyn. We don't say
Fronts.
grill. We say fronts. I
some
got my
people-
fronts, and I got my fronts when Just Ice got his fronts. So look at it like that. You know who Just
can't.
Ice is?
I do.
All right. So it's like this is part of the culture.
It's true.
part
It's
of the
true.
trends.
It's my least
And-
favorite part, but it's
But
true.
if you notice, it's also a part that continues to elevate. It's never regressed.
No,
Oh,
it's
and
true.
it never stopped.
I
It's-
will own that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just another form of with the culture. I always been big into the gold teeth since.
But
since
why? What is it? Just like you
it's a
stand from
style.
Brooklyn.
It's a style of
My
fashion.
whole family agrees with you. I'm the only one that's like, you
It's-
know what I think it is? It's just a teeth thing. Like I'm a teeth person, so like I'm just like,
Nah,
okay.
it's a style of fashion.
Yeah.
It kind of went with everything.
It's
you
true.
know, usually the chain goes
Did it,
with
was
the
it
fronts.
was
and-
it and back then I feel like it was more of a if you made it more like it was a prestige thing to have your fronts on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It follows the
Okay.
same. It was times where I did some crazy things to get some fronts.
I believe
You know, a lot of people were melting jewelry and going to get them custom and fitted, and it was a lot. I got 1,000 stories. Don't
I
go to
believe-
Rikers
listen.
Island wearing those fronts, because they coming up out your mouth.
I believe you.
You know, so I've seen every kind of situation you could imagine when it comes to gold teeth.
Because it was a thing. I think that's why my mindset, because I had some family that would do whatever it took for some fronts too. But I just always thought like, why are you going above and beyond for that? You know, I'm younger, so I'm a little bit like, does that,
It's
you went to
also-
jail for that? Like,
it's
you know
also
what I'm
the
saying?
environment.
But it's true.
But
It's true.
every environment shows you what the status quo is there amongst the people,
It's true.
what they wear, whether in Florida or Miami, it's your house and your car.
Yeah,
And
what you
in
drive
New York,
is who
it's,
you
it's
are.
your
Yeah.
wardrobe.
Yeah. Oh,
Your
no, you gotta be
wardrobe
fly. Yeah.
says who you are.
Yeah.
If you ain't coming out the house right, you are nobody. And
I
most of the
agree.
time, you're not gonna come out the house if you ain't
True.
looking right. This is
Listen, I got family, especially these men. I don't got a haircut. You ain't even going to the corner store. I don't got a haircut. I didn't shave. Like, what you mean?
I don't
like,
got a haircut
yeah, like,
right now because my barber broke his foot and had to get surgery. I never be like this.
He should have been
Whereas,
on with his.
nah, I gotta let him get right. But this not having a lineup, this is.
But it matters.
It bothers me.
If you
Yeah.
go to New York, it's like you probably wouldn't have done this interview. Let's keep it real.
Nah, I would have did it. I would
You
have
would
still
have done
did it. Yeah.
because you got to do it. You're men
Yeah.
of doing work. I know people that won't go to Walmart.
Not just that,
like,
because I'm here supporting the event
The whole
and
thing.
everything that's supposed
Everything
to go
that
on.
goes along
So
with it.
me not wanting to do the interview is disrespectful to everyone.
I like the
You know
way
what I
you
mean?
think, sir.
I really-
Mr. Thurston. I can't. I was gonna ask you your real name, but we're gonna ask
My
you
name
that.
is Victor de Jesus. I'm
Okay.
very proud of my name.
And that's
Yeah, I've never been
I never
ashamed.
understood people that don't put their. Listen, we all like. My name is Sujay. It's not even Jay, right? But we all have something, right? But be proud. Be proud of that name.
I'm proud of my name.
I agree with that.
My name is Big Vic Low in Low
Big-
Lives.
Okay.
It's my name,
Okay.
but it's because my name is Victor. My mother named me Victor.
And that's
My
something
last
to be proud
name is
of.
De Jesus. Never been ashamed. I never felt the way if somebody called out my government, like if
Like,
that
who
was
cares?
like if
Yeah.
that was a disrespectful thing. Nah, it ain't disrespectful to me. That's my name. That's what my mother
Stand
named me.
on that.
That's what I'm proud of. That's the name that got all my felony convictions on it. You know, there's a lot of things that
He
come
said-
with that name.
Listen, everything, but that's who you
But it's
are.
who I am.
It's
Yeah, I'm
who
not.
you
I
are.
won't deny anything because of that. All of these things led me to sit in this chair today.
Amen to that. I'm proud of that. Like, yeah. And I like that because you don't know how many people, I'm like, what's your name? And for me, I go deep. So I'm asking questions. Because, yeah, it's a nosy thing, but it's also, I don't know you unless I really grasp. I don't want to know surface level. Like, I could have asked you just solely about your music and that, okay, done. But I don't do that. Like, I really want to get to know somebody. So what's the point of being in my chair if I'm not going to ask you deep questions?
You know what's crazy? Most other podcasts, they only want to talk criminal history.
I don't
They
care.
don't even talk about my fucking career.
Which is, I feel like that's
shit-
disrespect.
But that's what more the
Because
world
it
is
gives
glorifying
you,
at
yes,
this
but
point.
that I don't care what the world is doing. For
Yeah.
me, it's always about the person sitting in the chair, and the person sitting in the chair is Victor, right? It's not even Thurston. So I'm gonna ask you questions based on really who you are, not just like I could ask you a million music questions. And yeah, you are an artist, but you have you yourself is an entity. So that's how I
and
ask.
music is only one.
Exactly.
small
So like
piece.
when people come and they're like, wow, I've never had these questions. It's always been like, oh, when's your next album? What's this? What's this? Yeah, we could talk music all day, but I need to know more. Like, that's just me. But
I mean, I'm a man at the end of the day, and
I'm not just an
living
artist.
life. Yeah, so I'm
Exactly.
a family man, and
Thank you.
all them things, you know.
I appreciate you.
And like I said, when I do podcasts, I let them know I don't want to talk about no criminal history
Because everybody got a pass.
Not just that, it looks bad to you know. I've had a transition over 30 years ago.
And
Why
at the end of
fuck
the
you
day,
wanna
why are
keep-
we talking about something
Yeah,
that don't?
talk
It's
about
not
what I'm
relevant.
doing now.
Exactly, it's not even
know?
relevant. Back what I did back then. Even when I tell people, don't ask me about me last year, because me last year was a different person. Because if I'm not growing, then I'm stunned. So now I'm talking about the same old person. No, I've changed. So
But if you notice, the most podcasts,
I know.
that's what they want to hear. That's the first thing they trying to pull out, and that's what I don't represent today. You know, I
But
represent.
at the end of the day, even if you did that and it got you here, it's not who you are. And I don't even care. I don't even care about your past at the end of the day, except for what made you what you are today. And
my past made me who I am today.
correct,
Though.
correct. But it's not shaping you. It changed you. You became better because of what you did back then. So if I'm gonna stay back here, then I'm not even acknowledging that you became a better man. So
Being involved.
exactly.
Well, I'm all about evolution. So
Because what's the point? Why are we here if we're just gonna stay stagnant?
now we hear about art right now.
Yeah,
It's
we're
a whole
here about
art
it, all of
situation.
it.
Art is
Outside,
life.
it
yeah.
is life. All art is life. I get inspired just being in rooms with people that are artists of all kinds. So
That's what I like. I like the energy, strong energy
yeah,
in rooms.
it's like
I think
the positive, the chaotic, because it's chaotic. It's the different mindsets. It's like, yo, you see, this is a painting. You see it one way, I see it another, and we can talk about it. It's all of that for me. That's it. Well, I appreciate you. You see, it's a whole painting.
nah, this work looks familiar.
I'm not sure, and I really want to tag the artist because I'm not sure who it is, but I'll ask Frank because I chose this spot because he was trying to
Ask
put me
Frank,
over there.
I think this is an artist from Australia.
That's what I think
Did
you're
he
right.
say that?
Yeah, he said it was Australia,
He
but I didn't ask.
This
yet.
same artist came to, you know, we had a house in Wynwood,
Yeah.
in Art Basel, and he came and painted on the house
wall.
behind us. And I remember this because he wrote my name just like this, where I couldn't even figure out what it was. But
So it was an
he
Australian
has-
artist for
it's
sure. Because
Australian artist, yeah.
when I came to vet the place and see where I was gonna set up shop, I don't know, like nothing speak. We're at an art festival. It's all about art.
Nah,
I
he's
didn't want to
from
be on a blank
Australia.
wall. But and then I said, because I have an Australian follower. If you're following, he is a religious follower, and I'm like, yo, he's from Australia.
Damn, I forgot his name,
But
man.
I'm gonna get the name, and we're gonna tag him or something on it because yeah, I just wanted it in, as the background for this tonight. So
Nah, this is hot.
it is. I appreciate you. Anything else?
Like, I'm
Listen.
here. I'm here to answer questions.
No, we're going to end so you can do your thing because you got your whole booth out there too. It's a hot day. You like heat? He said he likes heat from Brooklyn and he likes heat.
I mean,
Why? You said you from Florida. I'm like, no, but I don't want to be sweating all day, every
listen,
day.
I moved here for the heat, right? Because it's
That's
motivating.
not why I moved.
I moved for the
So you could
motivation
sweat
of
and
that
go?
sun. Yeah, I started jogging at 40 years old.
I'm proud. There's nothing wrong with that.
But because that's the heat. When I walked outside, the sun said, "Run for nothing." So this is why I moved to Florida, because that heat is motivating. Now I don't want to move. I don't want to do nothing when it's cold. I barely want to get out the bed because it's cold. And I grew up in New York in the snowstorms
I'm like,
and all that.
no. I get why you say heat is motivating because I feel like
Well, I would
could
say
get that.
the
I could-
sun is motivating.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm a
rephrase
sunshine
that.
person. I love that. So I don't want to live in places where I'm not getting the sunshine because I do feel like the brightness, the light, it does put something. It's a mood changer for sure.
It's
But I don't
vitamins.
want to sweat. It's the sweat. I'm dripping sweat all day.
I'm gonna leave
We
that
can
one
do it.
alone.
All right, listen, guys. I appreciate you guys for watching. I think this is the end of our interviews for today. I'm gonna go enjoy some of the art. I will be posting all kinds of photos, so stay tuned for that. We're gonna get the name of the artist so you guys can follow or find
And I
him.
bet you remember. I could tell you a story about this artist because I met
But
him.
that's your. You see, you know everybody.
No, I met him. Like that's why I
believe
said
you.
I was able to identify the work. I was in my grandmother's backyard training. I usually train in her backyard, and this became the art district. So, the building behind us, there was a wall, and then the guy started painting like an
He
entire
said something
building.
about a whole building that he
painted the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
building,
yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then, I trained for fighting and all. I'm in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
backyard training, so the guy, he's on the scissor watching me, and I'm playing music, and when he looked at me close, he said, "You look like Thurston Howell," and I was like, "I am Thurston Howell," and he was like, "Wow." So he came, he kicked it with me for a while, and then before he finished the mural he was doing, he made the entire top piece my
With your
name.
name. That's
But
dope.
in these letters where you had to
Yeah.
figure out
Everything's so
the way it's spelled,
introspective.
and he drew some eyes, man. Damn, I have pictures of all of it, so I'll remember by
Listen,
looking at
post
the
it.
picture.
Do something. Honor the guy. I love to honor people who create beautiful work. So that's what it is. So we'll find out who it is because I feel like this is words. I feel like he expressed himself. It's kind of like a graffiti in my opinion too because these are words. I'm sure he's
Yeah,
saying
his
something
style,
with
his
this.
style
yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah, it's dope. That's why I was like, I want to be here. This is where I'm gonna sit. So I appreciate you guys. Listen, stay tuned because we're gonna have more. Love ya. Bye.
Yeah.